Who should Islam Makhachev fight next? Before I get into that, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe as I have brand new videos every single week. The lightweight division is the premier division of the UFC and is incredibly stacked, but there isn't really a clear number one contender right now as there are so many moving cogs. So who should get the next title shot? The fair choice, if we're going off merit, would be Arman Tsarukyan. He was set to rematch Islam Makhachev back at UFC 311, but had to pull out with a supposed back injury. The UFC doesn't take kindly to fighters withdrawing, and it looks as though they're planning to punish Arman and make him fight another contender first. There's been some heated exchanges between Arman Tsarukyan and Dan Hooker on Twitter, so that could be the fight that we see next. And I wouldn't be against it. Dan Hooker is always fun to watch. And of course, Charles Oliveira is always in the mix for title contention. He's coming off a win against Michael Chandler and remains one of the top lightweights of all time. But the problem with him getting a title shot is Islam already dominated him at UFC 294. If their first fight had actually been competitive, I'd be much more interested in this rematch, but I just don't see what Charles could have improved drastically since last time that this fight would play out any differently. For me, it's not an exciting prospect at all. Dustin Poirier is expected to have his retirement fight this year, so I don't suspect a title fight is really on the cards for him. Plus, he lost to Islam not so long ago, but maybe there's a different title fight for him in mind. The BMF belt and a trilogy with Max Holloway, two legends of the sport going at it one last time. Win, lose or draw, that will be an incredible send-off for Dustin Poirier, so that takes Max and Dustin out of the mix for fighting Islam. If Max would have stayed at lightweight after beating Justin and winning the BMF belt, I think he could have got that fight against Islam next, but instead he went back down and fought Ilir Topuria. And talking of Ilir Topuria, he vacated his featherweight title and is making a permanent move to 155. He's been vocal about wanting an immediate title shot against Islam, but it doesn't overly seem like Islam is interested. Reports suggest that Islam's team has already turned down the fight, so what's next for Ilir if not Islam? A number one contenders fight against Charles Oliveira could make a lot of sense. Two former champions going at it, and a win over Charles would show that Ilir is ready to stand with the best in the division. Now, we can't talk about title contention without mentioning Justin Gaethje. He's fresh off a big win against Rafael Fiziev at UFC 313. He's one of the best lightweights in the division and a fresh matchup for Islam. Unlike Arman, Charles or Dustin, who've already fought Islam and lost, Gaethje would be a fresh, brand new opponent, and Islam's coach Javier Mendez has already said that Justin would be the perfect matchup for them. And Dana White, well, he's already confirmed that Justin is in title contention. Do I think Justin really stands a chance against Islam? No, not really, but it's a fight I would love to see. So who should get the next title shot? If we go by fairness, Arman Tsarukyan deserves it. If we go by the biggest fight possible, Ilir Topuria could be the guy. But if we go with the fight that makes the most sense right now, Justin Gaethje might just be the perfect choice. But what do you think? Make sure you comment down below and let me know. Thank you everyone for watching. If you can like and subscribe, it really does help the channel out.